Welcome to video number 5. We are going to start with 4.23, tobacco and tobacco products. This seems to be a issue every year. The tobacco part of things with cigarettes and dip, those are becoming less and less and becoming more and more of the jewels and vaping apparatuses. So this policy does include the jewels and vapes. So you can't have those nicotine related items here on campus in your car, in your possession. The jewel or the vape cartridges, those are against the policy. Lighters that you would use to light a cigarette, those are specifically in the tobacco policy. If you have a lighter on you, then you will face the consequences for tobacco policy, which will be talked about later. But it is going to be 5 days in school suspension, no questions asked. That is what you're going to have if you're found with some of this stuff. Drugs and alcohol, 4.24, drug paraphernalia. No student may possess drug paraphernalia of any form at any time on the campus and or school-sponsored activities. You students who are artists and you are making clay things that you might call flower pots or flower vases or something of that nature, there are, trying to find a polite way to say this, but there are certain things that if your flower vase has these certain things on it, it makes it a bong. And Officer Talbert knows it's a bong. Mr. Graham knows it's a bong. I know it's a bong. And any prudent person would say that it's a bong. So students, you cannot be making any kind of drug apparatus, trying to get past Mr. Sloan with it in his art classes. And he does a very good job of bringing those things to me whenever he finds them. And every student who ever comes in says it's not a bong, but guys, it's a bong, and it'll be treated as such. Possession of alcohol or drugs. You can't have those things here at school for any reason. No student shall possess, attempt to possess, consume, use, distribute, sell, buy, attempt to sell, attempt to buy, give to any person, be under the influence of any substance that, if it's defined in this policy, what the student represents or believes to be a substance defined in this policy. The policy applies to any student who's on school property, in attendance at school or any school-sponsored activity, left school campus for any reason, and then returns to the campus or is en route to or from school or any school-sponsored activity. Guys, in the past, we have great students who report these things. And if we have a valid report and it, whether it's from a student, a teacher, or whatever, we're going to check those out. You will talk with me and Officer Talbert, and hopefully it's proven that, it's not what it looks like. And if it's not, then we'll send you back to class and there'll be no issues. But if you are under the influence of any of these prohibited substances, which include but not limited to alcohol, alcoholic beverages, fermented drinks, inhalants, ingestibles, anything that alters a student's ability to act, think, or respond, LSD, other hallucinogens, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, any other narcotic, PCP, amphetamines, steroids, designer drugs, lookalike drugs, aerosol spray cans, or any other controlled substance. If you have any of that, then you would fall under this policy. Next part's over-the-counter medication. You cannot sell, distribute, or attempt to sell or distribute the over-the-counter medications. possession and use over-the-counter medications or other perceived health remedy not regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Prescription drugs is prohibited except as permitted under the policy 4.35 student medications, which basically states that all student meds, doesn't matter if it's Tylenol, ibuprofen, Midol pill, anything, has to be through the nurse. Over the counter, you can't carry them around. Prescription type things that you may be on um, has to go through Miss Kirchhoff, the nurse. Your parents have to bring them. They have to sign a document for her stating that we have them. At the end of the year, uh, we send those back home with the parents. So, again, you cannot be carrying around any of these items because you would be following under the drug and alcohol policy. Students who are suspected of behavior being under the influence may be subject to a field sobriety test given by the school resource officer or by any other law enforcement personnel. If a student fails the field sobriety test, he or she will be subject to out-of-school suspension, sent to success, receive 10 days out-of-school suspension with recommendation for expulsion. All of those are very possible. Um, and students, I just beg of you, you don't need to be doing this stuff in the first place, but you definitely cannot be doing it at school, and you definitely cannot be taking other people and giving them stuff as well, because now you've got the law enforcement um, behind what the school's doing as well. So please keep this off of our campus. If you are trying to sell it, in possession of it, under the influence of it, again, this says on or off school property may be suspended and or recommendation for expulsion. Drug dogs, use of drug dogs. Periodically, we will work with outside law enforcement agencies, and we will have drug dogs come in and search through our school. Um, and again, that's just a way to make sure we're making our campus as safest as it can be. Dress and grooming. Otherwise, the hand code, the dress code, we will cover that more in depth at the particular time in the high school handbook. But here's the main thing. If it presents a clear and present danger to the student's health and safety, it's not allowed. Causes interruption of the proper pursuit of learning, not allowed. Creates a classroom or school disorder, it's not allowed. Um, so those are the three main things. And then, like I said, we have a committee of people that decide how we're going to write up the dress code for the handbook each year. Gangs and gang activities. Talks about can't wear clothing, bandanas, jewelry, symbols, or other signs associated with membership in any gang. Engage in verbal or nonverbal acts such as throwing signs, gestures, handshakes, memberships to any gangs, recruiting, soliciting, extorting payments off of people. Very, very, seems like very unlikely that we would have this going on, but you never know. But the state of Arkansas tells us these are the things we look for. And these are the things, if you're doing, that we would be talking to you about this particular policy. So we will take a pause from this video, and we will get to video number 6 in just a minute.